And I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for sharing all of this, and I don't know if I'm burning bridges by doing this, but at the same time, it's my opinion, and if the school really was awful for me, I'm gonna tell you guys why I dropped out. I decided I owe it to my preteen self. Make a video talking to my phone while driving, because that's the kind of person I am. You know, global warming is real when you can walk outside in December and your car is toasty. Yeah, we're doing this with the sunlight, and the camera quality and lighting is way better than my room, you know what I mean? I'm homeless, please send me money. So hey guys, today we're gonna be talking about why I dropped out of college. Yes, I genuinely dropped out of college. I know everyone thinks it's a joke. I'm no longer going to Mount St. Mary's because it was a school that did not fit my educational necessities. So first things first, the number one reason why I decided to leave that school is because I was really sad the entire time I was there. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't writing or singing or acting or doing anything, and the only reason I came down to LA was to act and to be a creative person, and I didn't do any of that because I was so sad and I felt unmotivated. I just really didn't like that school. I was isolated on top of a hill, I couldn't drive, 90% of the population lived about 20-40 minutes away from the school, so they would all leave. I had no friends up until like the last month and a half of that school. Everyone was really cliquey and antisocial. Like, it was just lonely and sad and isolated, and I was unmotivated and I hated it and I was miserable. It just sucked the soul out of me. And I know everyone was like, well, it's only 2 years because you already have your associates, it's only 2 years. Yeah, that's 2 years I'm not willing to waste. I asked a sophomore student, I said, does it get better? She goes, no, but you get used to it. And I said, that is not something I'm gonna do. Okay, so what was the big reason? I was miserable. Next, moving on. Isolated, I covered that. Sad, covered that. Wasn't eating or sleeping, covered that. There's Highway Patrol. Hello, officer. Second reason was the school had a lot of false advertising. While the school advertised having music majors, film majors, liberal studies majors, bio majors, nursing majors, and you know, all the majors every school should have, it really only cared and catered to two. Would be nursing and biology. I don't care if you're predominantly a science-based school, good on you. The fact of the matter is, if you're a science-based school, do not advertise yourself as a school with all trades, because my ass went there. You know what I got? Disappointment. So the school really not only prioritizes only 2 majors, but it also only cares about those 2 majors. For example, the nursing students could get a private shuttle to get them to take them to clinicals, but film students who had required classes in a film studio could not get a shuttle to take us to the classes we had to take. Literally, the professors took us for the first couple weeks, and then at the end of like the last 3 weeks of the semester, they were like, hi, we can't take you anymore, but you guys can get an Uber, right? I'm paying to be here. I shouldn't also have to pay to literally get to my classes. Mount St. Mary's, if you're watching this, that's literally your job to provide for your students, so they don't have to pay more than they already don't have to get to classes you give. Thanks! So most colleges are used to having an out-of-state population because it's a college. However, the college I was at didn't seem to anticipate that at all. I told you guys it was predominantly a local school. Everyone would leave on the weekends, everyone would go home on the weekends. There was a lot of commuters. It was, let's see, we started school in August. It wasn't until November that they were like, oh, let's have an out-of-state dinner so you guys can get to know each other. And by that point, we already knew and found each other because there was no one else there. Like I said, I was literally friendless until the last month and a half of the semester. And we were all from out of state, except Jared. Jared lived there, but Jared was on school all the time. Shout out to Jared if you see this. Anjanae was from Delaware, Allie was from Cape Cod, Zoey was from West Virginia, and G was from El Paso, Texas. Let's get into the discussion of out-of-state students. For one, you're probably going to change dorm rooms every year or so, meaning all the stuff you have in your dorm, you're gonna have to find a way to get it out of your dorm. If you live in out of state, it's not really an option to bring everything you brought to your dorm home for 3 months and then cart it back, because a lot of us buy our stuff down here so we don't have to pay as much in airline fees to take it all down. Mount St. Mary's does not provide summer storage for students. Oh no, they say you can buy a storage unit. What? Let's not wait 3 months to introduce out-of-state students to other out-of-state students, because we are lonely and bored. It is so hot in my car right now. Either that or it's my anger. I don't know. Hey, Shoutout St. Fairies, if you also see this, you raised $70 million. Put AC in the dorms! I met some amazing people, had a great mentor while I was there, but ultimately that school was an awful place for me. Don't get me wrong, if you're a nursing or bio student, totally go there. Totally go to that isolated little school on top of a huge mountain that doesn't cater to anyone but those 2 majors. Go ahead, go right on ahead. So, ultimately, I was miserable, out-of-state students weren't cared for, you couldn't make your own food, and they didn't care about you if you weren't a nursing student. So, essentially, that's why I dropped out of college. So the what now that I get asked a lot, what are you gonna do now? Are you moving back to Reno? No. So I'm going back to LA in about 2 weeks, and I'm going to be living down there with my friend's aunt, who is awesome. And I'm gonna be living there. I have a car now. So I'm gonna just get a part-time job, start auditioning, getting background work, and working my ass off to be an actor, because I am sick of waiting around for it to happen, because that's all I got to do at Mount St. Mary's is wait till I could leave. Hopefully I'll get to go to school again in fall 2018. I applied to a couple options, but if I'll get in, you know, who knows, since I'm a failure now. You'll never know. That's the story of why I dropped out of college. That's my what next plan. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys a lot.